It's unbelievable. So it's going to happen. You know, we're getting dates now put together, and you're going to see committees in the Senate and the House, what they're going to do after the IG report. Well, first, the IG himself will, I believe, testify. I hope it's not behind closed doors. Anyway, examining the Inspector General's first report on Justice Department FBI actions in advance of the 2016 presidential election. Well, that's scheduled to begin next week, but I think it's now going to be put off in light of the fact that they're trying to alter and redact and slow walk the IG report, which has already been 18 months in the making. Michael Horowitz himself is expected and slated to testify. The House Oversight Committee is also preparing to have Horowitz appear before them sometime this month, according to congressional sources. Two figures now are said to be at the center of this report, James Comey and Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe. Well, I would also have to imagine it's got to be Loretta Lynch, and I have to imagine it's got to be Peter Strzok, considering he was co-authoring the exoneration before the investigation. I got to believe that Lisa Page, you know, as the attorney giving recommendations for Andrew McCabe, she's got to be in the middle of this. And the IG in investigation, they should hold Comey and McCabe and all these other people accountable for the mishandling of a number of key elements in this case, because not one American would ever have gotten away with this. Horowitz will be called to testify. House Republicans are planning to interview this month a number of FBI officials linked to the agency's handling of the Clinton email probe, which is part of the ongoing joint investigation by the House Judiciary, Oversight, and Control Committees. And the Assistant Director of the FBI's Counterintelligence Division was in yesterday. And he's meeting with lawmakers, and he met with lawmakers in a closed-door session yesterday. He's the one that seemed to give good testimony as it relates to what Peter Strzok was up to. And we've got, well, now Mueller's team, and I guess this is probably Andrew Weissman himself. I mean, you got to ask yourself a question. Andrew, how does Jeannie Ray, a woman that was a lawyer for the Clinton Foundation, how is she involved in any of this? It's mind-numbing to me, just like Peter Strzok was in this. And Inspector General Robert...
Gosh, damn it. Another station's coming in. Damn it. Damn it.
Friday of this week, where I mentioned just a few months ago, Christian Saucier, he served his country with honor. And the nation...
What are you doing there? Damn it.
He's about to perform even a bigger service.
Shit.
Is a two-tier justice system, and we want it to be corrected. Sounds like he was listening to the show, because we've been pointing out that the whole injustice of this for a long time. Sad in so many ways. Anyway, while campaigning and after taking office, Trump frequently voiced support for Saucier, and then he gave him the pardon. We have a new memo out regarding all of this that suggests Sally Yates, remember her? Sally Yates, my fucking voice, blood speculation is strong for General everywhere. He's honoring Hillary Clinton, he's interviewing Hillary Clinton, he's interviewing General Flynn. He's the guy that's racing off to Europe with, the guy that donated $25 million to the Clinton Foundation. If I made up a novel, you wouldn't believe any of this. And there are people saying to me, Kennedy, can you make a big board? Because it's getting hard to follow this. I'm trying to make it and simplify this as much as I can. I don't think the best imagination could create this and believe it. But you know what? Especially in the United States, we thought our system was better. We believed in our system. We believed that we could give powerful tools to the professionals in law enforcement, Department of Justice and Intelligence. Well, you can to the rank and file guys because they're amazing, but you can't to the upper echelon that have political connections everywhere, because then they're going to abuse them. Anyway, for months the speculation swirled around the question: if the FBI agents who interviewed General Flynn didn't think he was lying, and their boss James Comey said he didn't think he was lying, how did General Flynn end up getting indicted by Robert Mueller for lying to the FBI? Remember, that was one of the redactions in the name of national security that they didn't want us to see? Claim national security. No, it turned out to be embarrassing security for them, because what they had redacted was the fact that James Comey said that Michael Flynn didn't lie. He didn't believe that he lied, or the other agents didn't believe he lied. Anyway, so you got new details on all of this, showing how the White House counsel, Don McGahn, remembered his late January 2017 meetings with Senator Yates, and then the acting attorney general at that point confirmed much of Yates' own account of the meetings, and Yates has testified that she informed McGahn of false statements given by then National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, Vice President Mike Pence, about Flynn's conversations with his soon-to-be Russian counterpart. The account laid out by McGahn in a memo that partially became public this week differs from Sally Yates' testimony that was given to the Senate Judiciary Committee in early May of 2017. Yeah, why are we finding out now? I know I'm thinking the same thing. And McGahn and Yates disagree on whether or not Yates signaled to McGahn that the FBI, that Flynn gave the FBI as well as Pence a false account of his phone calls with his soon-to-be Russian counterpart during the presidential transition. In December, Flynn pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI in January of 2017 in an interview about whether the topic of Russian sanctions came up. And McGahn's account of the two meetings with Yates comes in the form of a memo that he wrote about 2 weeks after the meetings, in which he quoted repeatedly by Trump's personal attorneys in their recently leaked January 2018 letters to Mueller. But in the letter, Trump's attorney argued the White House concluded from McGahn's discussion with Sally Yates that Flynn was not under the FBI investigation. And according to McGahn's memo, his account differs from Yates' claim in a major way. And McGahn's memo says that Yates claimed that Flynn's statement to the FBI were similar to those she understood that he made to Spicer and the vice president. And Yates then, meanwhile, told Congress that when she informed McGahn that Flynn had been interviewed by the FBI, she declined to answer McGahn's question about how Flynn did in the FBI questioning. Somebody's not telling the truth here. And I would suspect that's Sally Yates, if I had to bet. If I was now we're going to have sports betting, maybe we need to have some betting on, all this deep state stuff. That's what I'm thinking. We have a lot more to get on all of this. We also have Laura Trump is going to stop by today. I mean, what they've done in the last, 48-plus hours against Melania is so disgraceful. And they knew she had an operation, and they knew she was at the White House. And 4 reporters had even seen her, but just let all of these false reports go out there. And all of this reckless speculation. Imagine if it ever happened in the Obama years. We also have Ron DeSantis and Sarah Carter. Sarah Carter, like I believe, and she's reporting, sees the IG report in the hands of Rod Rosenstein now for 2 weeks is extremely troubling, and likely meaning that they're seeking changes and that they want to certainly bury when it is released. That would be tomorrow or the next day, or maybe next Tuesday during the summit. Hey, we all know Washington is despicable. It's a sewer. It's a swamp. The deep state. We see what they're doing to the president. We see what they're doing to the country and the rule of law. The president's just trying to keep his promises, and he's doing a good job in 501 days. We see all the numbers. We'll go through it later in the program today. And we knew when he said in his inaugural speech, we're not transferring power from one administration to another or one party to another, but we're transferring power from D.C. and giving it back to you, the American people. Well, you want to help the president drain the swamp? Help. Go to conventionofstates.com and sign the petition. Now, this would be the way that we can limit the size, the scope, the influence.